One of the best ways to get on board with a program that you are going to enjoy is to make sure that you're covering your own bases. If you are trying to have a career in teaching, what are some suggestions that we might cover in an effort to notify? No, that's not even the right word. What are some suggestions that we would have to help someone who is new to the teaching profession to ensure that they can have a long career? Well, first and foremost, I would say that passion is not something you can really create. It's something that you have and something that you are inspired about. So within the program that you have, first and foremost, knowledge. Make sure that you have a knowledge of what it is that you're teaching. Now, I know that sounds like the very base pillar, but I'm sad to say there are plenty of teachers out there that teach a course by staying one chapter ahead of the class. So what I would suggest to you is if you want to have a career, a long career in teaching, get to know the material. Look at the program. Look from the end of the program what you are trying to have someone leave that program with in terms of understanding. Find out where along that line of final understanding and ready to leave the program and little or no understanding and where someone will enter the program. Where is your niche within there? What classes do you teach that people will need to know? What is it that they can bring to bear in your classroom? And finally, once you know where you are, what skills people will come into your class with and what skills along the way, find out what classes you want or what skills you want people to leave with. And sometimes that's mandated, and so it's very easy to tell. Sometimes tests and quizzes are made for you, so you know what information they will be tested on. Please understand that information they're tested on is not the end-all, be-all of things that people need to know. So have a look at that. Excuse me. Have a look at what people need to know so that you can assure that within your class you're teaching that material. And once you have figured out what it is within your class that people need to know, find out. Are you teaching the most up-to-date material that there is? Are you teaching in the most up-to-date way that you can? Are you reaching your students? This is important information, especially for the current generation of students that are out there. Make sure that you're reaching them. They can't be reached the way they were taught to in the past in the hopes of getting this new generation the skills that they need. They just don't respond in that way. They're a different group of people. So be passionate about what you're doing. Take time and train yourself. Look at the newest trends in the industry for what you are teaching. Look at the newest trends for the skills that people will use these for. Can you make new examples that will help them along the way? Try to see if you can adjust your course and your course material or your coursework in such a way that there is a practical application to what's being created. Right. So, if I'm new to the teaching career, what's a great way for me to jump in and get involved? Well, first of all, seek out adjunct teaching positions. Many people start by being substitute teachers, and then they find that the teacher that they're substituting for never comes back. There have been plenty of days people feel like that. Buddy. It may be that you become an adjunct teacher at a community college and you do well enough that they want you to stay on and continue to adjunct teach. That's important to consider. It may very well be that you get on an advisory board and then say you wouldn't mind teaching a class or two. But speaking directly to the people involved is always a great way, especially the decision makers. But understand that you will need to impress them. I don't mean you need to show up in a tuxedo and smoking a big fat cigar. That probably won't impress anybody. Let me remix that. Show up in a tuxedo with great business cards and you're carrying around a portfolio of your architectural work. That may not do, but you may have to show them what you can do. You may have to give them a short lesson in how to teach that subject. All this material is very straightforward. So try and see what you can do to bring your will to bear. Excuse me. In addition to this, once you have started, don't really think that is the end of the struggle. That's really the beginning of the struggle. So if you're looking to jump into the industry of teaching, first and foremost, look for job openings. Secondly, talk to the decision makers, whether it's an HR hiring manager, better yet, a head of a department or a principal, or someone who already works within that department or division that can assist you in making those decisions. Now that I'm a teacher, what's the best way that I can continue to do great work? Well, that's a good idea. That's a good question, rather. Most importantly, I would say, is to find a like-minded individual. A mentor inside your program is a great way for you to stop from picking up bad habits and start understanding what are some of the best habits to have. And once you find out what the best habits to have, really make a connection with that mentor so that you know why. You really understand the why they do what they do, and then the how that you can pick up those items. Now pay attention here. A mentor is someone that you should want to be, or who has a level of skill that you want to have. A mentor should be someone that you can make a connection with, whether it's mental or emotional. Make sure that a mentor is someone who knows what they're doing and is recognized for that. Within the lines of this mentorship, ask connections, make regular meetings, ask questions, find ways in which you as an individual can make sure that you have a good knowledge and understanding of what they're doing, why they're doing it that way, and how it can assist you to become a better teacher. Take this knowledge and use it for yourself. But beware, if you take someone who is a great mentor but you don't have a connection with, it's very easy to discount what they say and discount what they do. So don't do that. Alternately, watch out. If someone has bad habits, you're likely to pick them up. So find a mentor who has good habits. If you don't know which mentor is right for you, ask someone. In many cases, a mentor may be someone within administration. It may be a teacher who's been there a long time. It may be a teacher who has excellent understanding of the skills and knowledge at hand. But find a good mentor. Themselves on a path to personal independence with the ability to pay bills and to budget their time, that is great. As long as you look at it in that way, you will be in a perfectly fine and happy state. But if you suddenly get picked up and taken and put into a class like statistics, if you find that statistics really doesn't ring your bell, you may find that your interest in teaching begins to wane over time. So, if at all possible, try to find a career that you are passionate about the subject. Try to find a career in which, as part of your subject, you are constantly learning. Teachers love to teach, and often they love to learn. They want to know, what's the best way that I can teach? What's the newest things that I can try in our classrooms? What is it that we have already learned that I can put into practice today to help my students do more? One of the great things about teaching is if you can find a situation in which you truly enjoy watching someone else achieve and prosper. A job in teaching is not a job where you pat yourself on the back for good works. A job in teaching is where you pass that knowledge on to other people. So find a career in which you find that it is rewarding to teach. Get to know your students, if that's possible. Find out their quirks and eccentricities and come to like them for who they are. And, this is the important part, remain impartial. I'll go ahead and say that again because it is so important. Don't be influenced by your personality for them. Remain impartial. You have to act with the highest integrity as a teacher. You have to laud those who have done well, and you have to assist those who aren't doing well. And this is a very difficult proposition if you want little Jimmy to get ahead, or if you want Jim's dad to be able to get a job in the field of HVAC repair. You can't give him a grade he doesn't deserve just because you like him. Finally, take an interest in their successes, take an interest in their failures, and try to guide them on the path to success. Keep in touch with students who you have made a connection with. Make a connection with as many students as possible so that you can really have an impact on their lives and you can really have an impact on their careers. So, how can you put this into practice today? What is it that you have or can learn from this situation that will assist you to have a brighter tomorrow and feel more connected and more impactful in the lives of others? Today, I would like you to sit down and write out 5 things that you truly enjoy about teaching. Now, you probably won't find on this list, number 1, a fantastic school's e-procurement system. Good gosh, I hope that's not high on your list. But, different people. Go out there and write down 5 things on your list that you truly love and you truly enjoy about teaching. Once you have this list, put it somewhere prominent. Maybe you tape it to the top of your monitor so you have to flip it up to begin working for the day, and every day when you go home you flip it down. Maybe you put it on the back of your office door so that from time to time, when you're working in the office, when you go to open that door, it's right there. Maybe you add it as a note in your calendar. Maybe you write it on several months within your calendar. But write down this list of 5 things, at a minimum, that you truly enjoy about teaching. Put it in a prominent location and revisit it week to week to week to week. There's nothing that gets us out of a down situation than realizing what it is that we enjoy about the job that we're doing. If you are in the Army and you're on your hands and knees and you're scrubbing out a toilet bathroom with a toothbrush, that's a pretty rough situation. However, if you realize deep within that you love a clean restroom, that you love having a barracks that sparkles, if you love the fact that you and your company, or whatever the designation for that is, can stand out from every other group, if you love the fact that when someone comes in there expecting to see a flaw, all they see is flawless majesty, the job won't seem so bad. Also, if you're doing it with somebody else and you get to share that burden, that's also quite great. So, look at your list. Take some time today to rediscover what it is that you truly enjoy about teaching. And the next time you go to class, take a look at those 5 things. And when you step into your classroom for the day, come to realize just how many of those you actually do during the day. All right, we look forward to hearing from you, and I hope you've enjoyed this video on how to become a better teacher 1 week at a time. One of the ways in which you can create that 20 or 30 year I'm having a real hard time here. One of the best ways in which you can help yourself to assure that you can have that 20 to 30 year career in teaching is to make sure that you firmly believe that the subject that you are teaching is going to benefit the individuals who are taking the classes. Now, in some cases, this may seem a bit of a no-brainer. Of course, it's going to benefit someone to take a class in this. Say, for instance, in biology. The introduction to biology allows them to move forward into the upper tier biology courses. And once they're in the upper tier biology courses, then they can move on into chemistry, and then they can get to know the building blocks of life. That's all well and good. I see where you're going with that. But what you are really saying is that biology is an end to a mean. That is, or a means to an end. That is, taking this thing will help you to get somewhere, and that place will help you get to where you want to go. That is not beneficial for everyone. People living that life will soon find that the courses that they teach begin to lose their luster. The courses that they teach begin to fail to satisfy, because you will realize that you are not benefiting people. You are pushing them somewhere else. You are becoming a cog in a machine, and probably not one of the more influential cogs. So if that is the case, make sure that what you are teaching is going to genuinely benefit the person who is learning. And specifically by that, I don't mean that you have a plan involved. I mean specifically that a student who takes your course is going to learn something, and they're going to learn something practical, and they're going to be able to apply that knowledge every single day. It may be that the class in biology teaches them about their own bodies. It teaches them why it's important to eat good food, why it's important to have good exercise, why it's important to let your body stay limber and flexible. Find all the things that a regular person can benefit the course from if they never move beyond your course. Maybe they just want to take a refresher. Maybe they just enjoy being back in the classroom again. Maybe it's something such as they're getting paid to learn, or maybe they are teachers themselves. It is certainly possible that within your classroom there could be a current or future teacher who just wants to know, are there other teaching methods out there? So make sure that every class that you have, everything that you teach, has a practical application which can be taught and which can be learned, and that the practical application is something that they can walk away with if nothing else is ever picked up. Because there are some students out there who decide that the course of knowledge that they're learning with you is not what they want to do, but they can still enjoy your class, whether it's the fact that your class teaches them about themselves, or your class teaches them about the secrets of the universe that they're interested in, teaches them why they should be a good citizen, why they should vote. Maybe it teaches them how to determine how much fencing to buy around the perimeter of their yard. Make sure to give lots of practical examples. This can be particularly hard in some things, such as I don't know, comparative anatomy or quantum physics. But make sure that every student has something that they can pull away from your class with. But these benefits don't have to be benefits which are given solely to your students. Why not write down 5 benefits that you receive from being a teacher? Look at this list. Think of it in the way of the benefits that you receive. Look at this list, and as you go through your routine these next 52 weeks, go ahead and add to it. Maybe there's some things that you might never consider, but then a few weeks later it becomes so obvious it is a question how you ever missed it in the first place. Thanks again. By all means, share this information. Comment if you'd like. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can see all the other material that we've got. And by all means, just absolutely destroy that like button out there. Give us as many likes as you can. Pass this on to anyone else who might need it. And by all means, design your future.